Ian Ileana, another day in America, I guess. Today is Finger Up the Bum Fridays, self screening for colorectal cancer in memory of James Van Der Beek. I want to destigmatize men checking their ears, checking their health. I mean, if you're gay, I mean, you're obsessed with your ass. You check it, you take pictures of it, you just know. But straight men, because they don't feel like the buttholes get appreciated. Women don't lick it. It's a lot of things. It, it's a lot of things. But because of that, things like colorectal care, it just escapes them. It escapes them because they just see it as, well, it's a dirty place, and bad things come out of it. It's like, no, some good things can go into it too. That's for sure. But you need to check it anyway. Gay, straight, bi, transgender, I don't give a shit. Even lesbians need to fucking check their holes. Why? Because it's not about sexual preference, it's about dietary preferences. If you're straight and you're eating your vegetables, you're drinking water, you're doing all that, you're not going to have issues. Unless you live in Flint, Michigan, and the water is obviously fucking poisonous, then yeah, you shouldn't have any fucking issues. But if you live in America and you say to yourself, "I'm a carnivore, I eat meat," meat is not your friend, especially not those meats, because those meats need to be in your system and then out within a fucking hour, out within 2 hours. But that's not how America does things. America says, "Nah, you eat for, I don't know, sit on the couch, play some video games, watch some telly, do a bunch of things. Forget the fact that you just ate living flesh. You literally just ate some other creature, and now that's in your stomach. Now that's in your gut, and it's just rotting away because you're just throwing acid at it. You're throwing bile at it. You're breaking it down. You're adding to bacteria. You're absorbing the chemicals that are in it. But you say, "Oh, I got to get my protein." I mean, what would I do? It tastes so good. Meat tastes good. There's a reason why you're supposed to enjoy eating meat, because it's who we used to be, not who we are now. Now, I don't know about our ancestors and whether or not they had colorectal cancer, but they certainly didn't have food dye in their fucking meat to make it look a little nicer for people. They didn't have extra ingredients, preservatives. They didn't have to salt the meat quite as much. And all that time that you're eating stuff like that, it's just corroding the insides, corroding your intestines, corroding your stomach, all the chemicals that are, you wouldn't recognize it because you just don't look. Muppet! Hi, hi, hi. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the revolution. My name is Ian Ileana. I talk about environmental issues. I talk about public health. I need to talk about why my dog immediately thinks that he can steal my bed and I won't even notice. Look at this. Shame. Shame on this dog. How's it going, Rockstar? I must be a rock star because every time I leave my room, people are like, no, you don't go back into that. It's like you just walked out. You walked out. You looked nice. You need to walk around the neighborhood. You need to show people that you're a star. And my thing is, if people don't recognize their own divinity, I can't be that person for them. I'm not Lenny Kravitz. Lenny Kravitz can perform. Me personally, I have PTSD, so I make music. I have a new song coming out soon. It is 56 Chevy. It is my tribute in memory for James Van Der Beek, because I enjoyed Dawson's Creek. It was one of the first times that you get to see gay characters, you get to see teens that you have to deal with romance, but they're deep thinkers too. They have to maneuver and grow as people, evolve. That's not something you get often. You don't get that opportunity. So because I am a shaman, because I am a medicine man, I have to take my opportunity to tell my dog to stop stealing my bed. Shame this dog. Shame this dog for constantly stealing my bed. All right, you get to sit there and enjoy the show. Unbelievable. Muppet. All right, I'm gonna read your comment. I'm a straight man, but I only know how to flirt with men. Can you give me any tips? I suck at flirting with men. Case in point, I walk the dogs, and I have like a guy trying to take his dog back into his car, and he smiles at me, but he smiles at me in the way that it's the uncomfortable thing of, I know you're a rock star, I know you're beautiful, I don't want to be overly creepy about it, but I don't know how to react around it, I don't know how to do it. So you have to say, if you want interactions, you have to be more progressive. Because, oh, by the way, thank you for the love. Thank you for the love. Thank you, Nanya. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the revolution. It is Finger Up the Bum Fridays. It's a new tradition that I'm starting here because, look, I'm an older person. I'm not a fucking teenager. And even teenagers have to fucking practice this now. I used to say to myself, children need to be sheltered and their innocence has to be protected. It's like, fuck that shit. They're being shot in American schools and they are facing drugs, they are facing violence, they are facing just sex and drama that you would never believe. Why? Because they're supposed to be adults. We forget, we forget that we have it so easy because in ancient times, the maximum age was like 30. So by 13, you were married. You didn't even know the bitch. She got placed in front of you at the fucking altar. You never even seen her. You maybe wrote her a letter. You wrote her a letter, and then all of a sudden it's, I guess we're supposed to fall madly in love, but it's the first time I've even, touched someone. So, hormones are going, and that was life. That was life. Now we baby these fucking things because we don't want to deal with them. We don't want children to have responsibility. Why? Because they would do something. Maybe for good, maybe for bad, but they're more inclined to do something. The older you get, the more you go in two different directions. They're the people who just buckle down and say, this is life now. And the system that oppresses you, I agree with it. I agree with paying rent. I agree with raising kids and having a family. Just all the things that the system puts in front of you to say, don't chase your dreams. Don't work on yourself as a person, find out who you are. Just day to day to day to day to day, or month to month to month to month to month. Now, I'm not working, I'm not doing any of that, but I'm still the same way. I mean, I'm a month to month person. I bought a little extra time with my fucking misery. Ava Claire, wait, I'll be back. I have a poem for you. I love poetry. I have to be more progressive with women. I don't know how to flirt with women because okay, I guess it's easy with women. I don't find attractive, but when it's a hot one, I don't know how to progress the flirting. You have to get it into your head that no woman is above you. No woman is above you at all. Why? I'm going to tell you a little story. Not that I was into it, but I had to date a model at one point, and it was she wasn't better than me. She was just a regular person, just a regular person, and you have to understand that you're a regular person, and they're regular people too. Pretty people are just people. You walk up to them, you compliment them, you walk up to them and insult them. It doesn't matter. They're people. Sometimes you just have to feel it out. There are models with super high self esteem, and then there are models that have so low self esteem that if someone said you're beautiful at just the right time, you could be 9 to 10 inches deep into their soul. It's that simple. Why? Because everybody loves a little bit of attention, just a little bit. I walk out like this, I expect to be ignored. People try to talk to me when I'm wearing outfits like this. I just ignore them because I'm just used to it. I haven't gotten used to the fact that my hair is just so wild and savage, and I got this beard, and I always wear my shades. People are going to assume that I'm a rock star, and technically I am because I do make music. But you have to stand up for yourself and say, if you really want to date hot people, you have choices. You can either be a hot person too, or you can be clever. Clever people fuck a lot of beautiful people. They are fat businessmen who can spin a yarn well enough that the birds just say, fuck it. I like your style. No one talks to me that way. No one talks to me that way. All right, get your cock out, and then it's just on. It's that simple. Women are simple that way. Men are the real superficial ones. Men look at you and they just say, if you don't have muscle, because you know why? Because they're visual. Men are very visual. Women are more of the mindset of, I need to have my mind engaged. Nothing wrong with that. It's just different standards for different things. So every Friday is going to be a discussion of my finger up my bum and what did I find. I put my finger up my bum and I didn't find anything. I do have to say that my bum is very tender. It's very tender. So I have to re-examine what I eat. This James Van Der Beek thing scares people, and it should scare people. This is a wake up call. This is a wake up call. I started talking about bread episode recently because everyone has been conditioned since they were young that bread makes you feel good. It's not that it just tastes good. It just makes you feel good. It just makes your stomach feel so much better. It tastes good. It's a little bit sweet. It's a little bit buttery. It's a lot of things. But bread isn't your friend. I had to take a crust of bread out of my dog's mouth a bit earlier because she gets fed, but she looks at random food sometimes and says, I'd like a bit of extra. I get that. I get that. I mean, I'm the same way, but it depends on what it is. Some people would say, okay, well, that's what it means to be rich is when you realize that you don't need to work harder for less. I ate a big salad early with a piece of sourdough, and I feel fine. I think it's normal bread that's bad. It is the normal bread. It's the regular. I don't want to like do brands, but like the fucking Wonder Bread and like all that, and things like the hamburger rolls that they put in all these fast food restaurants that never fucking go bad. They are filled with I don't know what kind of fucking chemical, but it makes them last longer. But then that's in you too, and your intestines maybe last longer because of it, but your intestines supposed to like make new intestinal cells. It's it's not something to be ashamed of to say that you need to know what's going on in your butt. It's not shameful. This James Van Der Beek thing is a wake up call. People were looking at Jane Fonda and they crack jokes. People crack jokes about Jane Fonda, about her colorectal, and it happens to a lot of celebrities. It happens to a lot of people, just like diabetes. Diabetes happens to a lot of people. No one ever fucking says anything because they say, "Oh, is it genetic? Oh, is it genetic?" It's like, no, no. You just have a fucking cycle of you ate like a fucking pig. Your children eat like fucking pigs, and then they look at you and say, "Well, my parents got a disease." It's like, well, yeah, but you didn't help. Children are growing to be more woke. They're growing to be more woke, but they haven't really budged on this. They haven't really budged on food. They don't understand that quality of life is not something that you can buy. It's like a muscle. You got to flex it. Got to flex it constantly. This dog is so obsessed with Hugh Jackman. I have no idea. Oh, typical Aussies. Eating a spoon of ghee, distilled butter every day lubricates the end canal. Dude, you're smart. You're smart. People used to do that. People used to put butter in their tea, butter in their coffee. They used to put butter in milk. They used to understand that, hey, for several reasons, you want to have it just come out nicely. If it comes out and it's a strain, it's going to be pain. And then you're going to complain when you go see the doctor. That's a very good piece of advice there. People need to do that. Try making your own. It's easy, or go to a bakery. That's what I do. Muppet, I'm just going to encourage you to keep experimenting, but then also realize that it's just a taste. It's just a taste in your mouth. You can get over it. You can just make a clean break. There are some carbohydrates which you eat, and then there are some carbohydrates that you just say, I don't need in my life anymore. When it comes to things like bread or potato or several things, you just have to say, I'm above that. I can eat something else. I can eat a carrot. I can eat a celery stick. I can eat, so many other things. That food is not limiting. It's your imagination that's limited. Also, eating once a day is good for the system. There is something to say about fasting. The idea that you have to give your backside a bit of a break. You have to give your stomach a break. You have to give your mind a break. You have to break out of the cycle of saying, I need to feed myself extra calories, but you're not doing anything with it. People overeat without even realizing it, mostly because they look at something like television and say, I'm used to a movie theater. So the movie theater conditions you that if you see something interesting on a screen, you're supposed to have food at the same exact time. It's just conditioned responses. I stopped watching television, watching any sort of cinema, and my consumption of food just went down. I'm still a fucking fat bastard, but it's mostly water, which it should be, which it should be. You want water throughout your entire system. Water is good for you. Bread isn't. Meat isn't. Not to say that you can't have those things. You can, but then you have to have so many other things just to compensate that you have to say, is it even worth it? Is it? I don't know. Something to think about. I had my PTSD trigger for the day. I waited for some woman in a wheelchair who was going up a ramp. So I couldn't just rush and then like rush in front of her. So I had to wait. And while I was waiting, some woman decided to come up right next to me. And because of my PTSD, of course, I freaked out. But I couldn't say anything or do anything because, that's life. That is life. There are times to be genuinely freaked out. And then there are times to say, if I move 5 seconds faster, I can just get away from this situation. I can freely get away with this, just get away from this situation and get back to my life. But for some reason, I don't know. It's all about, can we put a woman next to you because you look so damn cool and you look like the star and you need to have a fucking sidekick. You need to have some damsel in distress in order to rescue. Number one, I'm gay. Two, I have PTSD from military sexual trauma. And three, I'm not getting paid to do cinema, especially after I have fucking pissed off as many of your fucking sponsors, the people who hold your balls in their fucking hands. So you can't say shit about the food or the products that they use. So there's no reason for me to pretend like I'm in a movie when, I'm just me. I mean, of course, I do speak so fucking strangely. And I had to call the fucking security people today. So which means I had to talk to a woman. I don't know what the fuck is going on that the West Coast is all about. Can we force women on you? Or if, you don't want women next to you, you're just gonna have to keep moving, keep moving. And then I don't know. I saw a sign for real estate and it was timed so perfectly because it's like, you really hate it here right now. Oh, harness that feeling. Harness that feeling. Stare at this real estate sign and realize that that's just, for me, I looked at that real estate sign and I said, that's what white people use to control each other because every man wants a castle, but you don't understand. Every man wants a castle, but a castle is a town. A castle is a town. People think Oh my god, I'll have the mansion, and the mansion with all the rooms and the pools and a gardener and all that. You'll have all those things, but you need people to run it. And even so, who's going to protect it? Like that's the problem of the American dream, because the American dream has always been a house, two kids, 2.5 kids. So you got like half a torso fucking rolling around on the floor. And a dog, and two cars and everything, and everyone goes, I've got it all. I've got it all. It's like, no, you don't, mate. You really don't, because every time that you leave that, there's someone who pulls up in a van and says, "Oh yeah, that's the house I'm going to rob today." Yay! You just left. Okay, I have to get the tools out. Let me. I don't even have to do the whole ding dong thing. I can just fucking break a window and I'll just go in there. That's the attitude of the criminals. What you need to realize is castle, castle. Because the people in the castle, yeah, they might have had to serve a lord, but there was somewhat of an understanding that you were fucking staff. You had a job, you stuck to it, and there were always problems, but for the most part, it was you're in here as opposed to you're out there and then you're dealing with bullshit there. It wasn't perfect, but I'm looking at our situation and I just say, yeah, just castle in the right way. You need to say, who do you have in your life that you trust? Who do you have in your life that you want to invest in? And I say invest because the idea of a castle, the idea of a bunch of men or a bunch of women just saying, why the hell are we paying rent to go live apart from each other in separate places, surrounded by strangers that we don't know and we don't trust, when we kind of trust each other? And if it was a big enough space, or if we coordinated things, it wouldn't be an issue. The idea of private space, privately owned space, is the biggest con job that they forced upon you, because it's not good value. People talk about, oh, real estate, real estate, real estate. Real estate is because everybody wants to live somewhere. Everybody wants to live somewhere. You don't want to live there. You don't want to live anywhere next to people you don't know. You don't know. The reason why I didn't even bother saying hello or good morning to the weirdo who smiled at me twice as he was trying to, get into his car, was because I look at him and just say, who the fuck are you? You show up at the park, I'm here, I don't know you. Are you just, number one, a government agent? Are you some cultist? Are you a fucking serial killer? I don't even fucking know. But these are the people who, if you move to a neighborhood like this, you say, this is your neighborhood. Guess who? Guess who's behind every fucking front door? It's like, no, I don't. I don't want to play that game. I don't. I want the castle. I want the castle where you say, you know what's out there. So here, there is just going to be, you're assigned a job, you're assigned this area, you have this domain where you freely go about, and here's a shared space, and here's the protected shared space, and here's your private space. Here's your private space. But that takes a lot of editing. It takes a lot of time to do. I don't know if I want to be that patient, but I know for sure I'm not going to just move into any of these fucking neighborhoods where I have to say, oh, yeah, but your car just blows smoke in my fucking face. Your house is filled with fucking criminals. I don't know, drug addicts. I don't know. And when you speak to a leasing agent, the leasing agent never says, we'd like to disclose to you the crimes that have happened here or the crimes that are about to happen here. Number one, because either they don't know, or two, they just don't care. So, no, no. Real estate is for white people who just want to control each other or give themselves a pat in the back as they paint even larger fucking targets on it. But I know, because like literally, I'm hopping from transient place to transient place. You're surrounded by most likely the fucking dodgiest people ever. I mean, I decided to be cheap this round, and I just they're really making me suffer for it because they're trying to say, do not trade your frugality for safety. Pick safety. If you have to drink from the tap like a fucking savage, drink from the fucking tap because you can't afford, you know, sparkling fucking water. But at the very least, have thick walls and cameras and everything. I get it. I 100% get it. I don't want to. I hate, after being sexually abused, after living in East Los Angeles, I cannot put myself through that again. I cannot put myself in the situation of, oh, I'm on a lease, and then you just say to yourself, no, I can't leave. I have all this stuff, I can't leave. I mean, if I just throw it out, I mean, I'll lose all this stuff. It's like half the stuff you don't even fucking use, half the stuff, you just burden yourself with. And I feel that way because I am literally, the little caboose that could, I fucking cannot just chug along because I have so much stuff. And if I settle down, it would be, well, at least your stuff is in one place. And I guess there's a camera there. And I guess, you can feel a little bit safe. It's like, I don't want to feel safe. I want to ensure safety. And the only way to ensure safety is to build that. Build that space, build that network of people that you might want to trust. And you might say to yourself, yeah, they're going to be like five or six government agents, but you're a fucking government agent who's only going to be in charge of looking out a window, and you're not going to talk to me and you're not going to deal with me, and that's going to be it. It's like I don't want to be your neighbor. I want to be your town watch. I want to be a town guard. I want people to say, go to the fucking garden and plant some more vegetables because we need food. I don't want to deal with neighbors and say, you're snorting crack cocaine, whatever. I don't want to deal with that. I want people of quality that I could say, you know what, I like to eat by myself, but if I had to eat in the same place as you and I grew the food with you, I'm going to be okay with that because there's a vested interest in sharing things there. And I hope you don't mind that I have to keep moving around and around and around. This dog is trying to steal my bed. I cannot believe it. Look at this dog. Just wants to steal my bed because it smells like me. And he knows that's the first place I want to go. So he wants to be there for me. It's so sweet until you realize his fucking paws are dirty. Oh, do love you though. Look at this face. He's wonderful. He's wonderful. All right. I think you need to clear and strengthen your lower three chakras. Why don't you move to England, mate? What do you think about Burmese? I should. It's just, it's not going to be better. You know, I'm an American citizen who has the unfortunate parentage of having a Brit for a father, and all my mates were international. So I never fucking latched on to America, the America way of doing whatever. But I was, you know, I was born here, so I have no choice but to defend my land, defend my people. America is many things. It's what you make of it, though. There are parts of America that are just fine. There are parts of America that are thriving. There are parts of America that are just beautiful. I moved to the Pacific Northwest and I see the beauty. I see the beauty. I want to relax enough to maybe trust again, but I will never, because I've been heartbroken by California. I've been heartbroken by America itself, that I can never relax here. And I just wouldn't want to freak out internationally because people don't deserve that. Some English granny wants to say good morning to me, and I scream because I don't want to be touched, or I don't want to, talk to women after being sexually abused. It's She's just trying to be polite. Now, when Americans do it, I just say you're fucking cultists, and I scream at them because there is something wrong with Americans who do that because they know better. Americans grow up in fear. They know fear. So the idea of an American being friendly is scary because it's, what do you really want? What do you really want from me? Because it isn't just a good morning, is it? It's, you want inside my place, you want inside my life, you want inside the finances, you want to control my destiny, what do you want? Because good morning is so much more than that to an American. And it might be that case for other places, but I'd like to think that in England, at the very least, it's good morning is just, I acknowledge that the morning is good and I would like to share it with you. That's all. I'm going back to my life. Goodbye now. That's it. I like that. I like that. But as I said, I'm an environmentalist. I can't just leave this fucking disgusting country that I hate to these people who I hate as they pollute and destroy the entire planet. No, I have to stay and fight. So I guess that means I suffer, but I do podcasts. I suffer, but maybe with a little bit of strength and at least one day without some woman trying to fucking rub up against me, I might be able to do some environmental outreach here in the community. Clint, what up, man? Sorry I'm late. I was watching a movie on bushcraft. I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at this dog. This dog is once again on my bed. Just cannot resist. It's like, I know you're going to be there and I want to be there for you. Oh, bushcraft is wonderful. The idea that you can live out in nature, but I'm military, so I'm not someone who can just sit back and enjoy camping. I have to say no. I'm one of those people that I just don't trust the American government to let me be by myself. I don't trust the American government to do that. I mean, here I am. I'm trying to go to fucking Canada because I'm trying to talk to someone who will listen, an international lawyer, because I have to get myself to the United Nations. I have to be able to speak up as a mutant ambassador, to tell them that, do you even breathe air? Do you drink the water? Do you care about people? Because you do all this social media about, oh, there's starving people. There are people in Afghanistan right now who are chilling. I'm sorry. I read that on X, and I said, "Excuse me, pardon me." But you just said, it's a crisis. People in Afghanistan are chilling. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Get in the fucking cave and start humping. I don't know what to tell you. Just put a hole through that sheet and then let the magic happen, and that room will heat up by itself. Yeah, Shuck is on the bed behind me. Dogs know. Dogs just know. I know it's not like a territorial thing. It's, I want to be there for you because I care. That's what the dog says without saying a single word. It's lovely. I don't know. I'm too angry to just let things go. I cannot let this country, this United States, pollute and destroy the planet. I have to speak to the United Nations and just say, what are you doing? What are you doing? Because it doesn't have to be this way. You could turn to renewable energy. You could put sanctions on petroleum based vehicles. Well, petroleum using vehicles. I don't know. Just cars that make pollution. Let's just say that. I'm a wordsy motherfucker. It's just everything is so verbose. Start playing guitar and become the next Jimi Hendrix, bro. I do play guitar. I have a whole discography of me playing the guitar, man. I'm not Jimi Hendrix good, but I mean, I do play the guitar. Build a damn fire or switch back to horses. People would complain if they switched back to horses for a year, and then they would say, what were we missing? What were we missing? I just can't be a part of whatever this America thing is if they can't see the simplicity of walk, walk to wherever you need to go and wherever you need to be, because that's your life. That's your real life. Your life is what you can walk to. Your life isn't what you could travel to, because that's someone else's life. If you want that to be your life, then you need to make that move, make that decision. Yeah, but every spoiled princess will have a reason to ask for a pony for their birthday. You should. Why? Why is this dog upset? Come off my bed. Ugh. I love my I love my dogs. Just constantly want to be on my bed because it smells like me. Hmm. Oh, Clint, did you read the title? It is Finger Up the Bum Friday. I know you have your issues with it. I have my issues with it as well. But this James Van Der Beek thing is a wake up call. It's a wake up call for all men, women. Children, everyone, dogs, everyone needs to be fucking checked because the food we eat and our lifestyle is dangerous. Absolutely dangerous. People need to make doctor's appointments and they need to start doing self checks. So every Friday, I'm going to do an update on how my little bunghole is doing. Oh, I finally have my room decorated, and I did. And what happened with the pie guy? Pie guy? I'm not exactly sure what that is. I guess I'm just a person who talks about public health. Somebody has to stand up to these big businesses that employ a lot of American people, serve a lot of American people, but then also undermine everything that they have, undermine their health, undermine their families, leaving them just broken shells to be discarded. And the cycle continues. Oh, James Vanderbilt was in American Pie. Was he? I don't think he was. I would have remembered James Vanderbeek in that raunchy film of sex with food. I love how so many movies were coming out at the same exact time. But I'm a Cheerleader was coming out at the same exact time, and it was this lovely lesbian love story, and that got censored so many times, and it was the MPAA going, "Oh, you can't do this, you can't do that." But here, this raunchy film of men having sex with food and jizzing into cups and drinking jizz, all of it. America is just weird. I mean, it's true. The all the constraints just make people rebel more, but there comes a point that you say, yeah, you can make art off of it, but you need a revolution of the mind. You need to just say you don't have to live that way. You don't have to just do an artistic rebellion against it. You just have to reject it outright. No, you can't show reality. How dare you? That's just what's going on. Censorship is just bad for the human spirit. It really is. We censor things because we're afraid. We're afraid of what it means. We're afraid to talk about painful subjects. Colorectal cancer is a fucking embarrassing, painful subject. I've just taken over my whole channel in order to talk about this because I don't shy away from things. I embrace the weird, I embrace the ick, I embrace the embarrassment because if you can feel that, you're still alive. But fucking get through it, man. Go to your doctor and get your bumhole checked. Doesn't matter how old you are, you just don't know if you eat bad food, if you don't exercise, if you don't drink enough water, you're just gonna have all of this shadowy stuff happen in the background, and you won't know. And that not knowing can cost you everything. James Vanderbeek, I don't know his full story. I don't even know if he ate meat. I'm assuming that he did because it's colorectal cancer. Like you don't get colorectal cancer from eating carrots. Think about it, really. So I can somewhat safely talk about it. And even if he, was a vegan his whole entire life, there's so much additives in all foods at this point. Preservatives, coloring, artificial flavors. I know what it means to be careful with your colon. My grandfather died of colon cancer. There was a time in America where it was come home, enjoy a pot roast. Your wife is going to prepare you a meaty fucking meal for the man. A meaty fucking meal for the man. Because he went to work. And we just got stuck in that. We got stuck in that. And then we started adding in bread. And you know how I feel about bread? Bread is for peasants. Peasants do that. They eat the bread and they thank you, my lord. Thank you, my lord, for providing this loaf of bread. I mean, I would take some mutton. I own the mutton. Okay, okay. I see the bread as fair. But if I could just have a chicken, I own the chickens. All right. Oh, just this loaf of bread is so nice. Thank you. You suck. Yeah. There used to be a time when you would go and hunt for yourself. You would eat deer, rabbits, fast moving creatures that had so little fat, a little gamey, a little tough. They don't taste as good, but they satisfied you. You had to chase them, you had to run them down. Nobody wants to do that. And we wonder why dating apps are so fucking difficult. There's no chase involved. Who we are. It's who we are to do that. It's who we are to chase and fight and yeah, eat meat. But that lifestyle comes with being extremely active. All these bodybuilders who try to grow their chest, hands up, by eating meat, you have to say to yourself, you're growing your breasts like a fucking chicken. You're not growing it like a woodsman who needs to chop down a tree. So what do you think happens to all that meat as you're sitting on the chest press machine? Just sits in your gut and it rots. This is a wake up call. James Van Der Beek, brilliant actor, and now is going to be remembered as having cancer of the butt. You can laugh, but it could happen to you. It could happen to me. I'm scared. Everyone should be fucking scared. This is a wake up call. Examine your life. Examine what you could do better. Just one extra glass of water, one extra carrot, one celery stick at lunch might save your life. So I'm going to keep doing these podcasts. I'm going to wean myself off of talking about buttholes. But every Friday, I'm going to bring this back up because I want to shatter that fucking stigma, shatter it forever because it might save someone's life. I have an online karate class to teach to people in San Francisco. So I guess I'll have to call it for now. My name is Ian Iliona. I'm a mutant. I'm a werewolf. I'm a musician. I'm a veteran with PTSD from military sexual trauma. James Van Der Beek, I will remember you. I will remember you. I hope to see you on the next podcast.